Thank you very much, General Ashok, for covering that very vast scope in your previous response. Let me change tack a little bit and come closer home to the normal, our working, the impact of technology on our working. And with your vast experience, both of you have got such a long career in the armed forces and are now looking at technology and looking at strategy and the geopolitics of it. My question is that with the increasing prevalence of automation and artificial intelligence, what are the implications for the future of work? And how can businesses and societies prepare for the workforce transformation brought about by these technologies? General Kapoor, please.
Uh, Thank you for this, sir. My mind goes back to the days when we looked at the analog world, uh, and the transition that happened in our lifetime from analog to digital. And if we looked at the analog world, everything was very, very manual oriented. Machine was in support to us, and I'm sorry, sometimes it looks very archaic, but communication wasn't on the forefront or on the fourth stage. There used to be very long briefings to individuals. All communication was man to man, with, if I may use the word, archaic equipment today, because it was all based on landlines, and there's a huge communication channels, and microwave was thrown in only between cities, and that's how we would communicate. And when the digital transition or transformation happened globally, uh, the situation is today that if you forgot your mobile home and you've gone out, you would recoil and come back, primarily because you feel that there's something missing. And it could well be your wallet as well, your UPI wallet. So, really speaking, it's a big transition when we look at it from analog to the digital world. And what digital world brought in was actually automation. Now, it also brought in a human machine interface. I mean, today we are all talking through a human machine interface. So that was the big transition. As we are looking at artificial intelligence and a lot of data and sensors, and actually, I always say that, when we look at the new transition that is happening with automation and AI brought in together, I talk of four terms: automation, autonomy, automation leading to autonomy. So even industry today, there's industrial automation to industrial autonomy, and that is the industrial revolution 5.0, driven by sensors, driven by IoT, driven by communication technologies. And then we have precision and positioning. So really speaking, it is two A's and two P's which are driven by automation or digital transformation and artificial intelligence. And that said, when we look at this new landscape that is emerging, the next big transition is machine to machine, which is already happening. I mean, today, all of us are aware that even machines are talking to machines. I mean, in your own house, when there is any communication happening, as an example, uh, your mobile is talking to your computer, and my computer is then talking to your computer, and that is how we are able to communicate. So in this transition of M to M, which is a big disruption again, and I covered the fact that IP and communication technologies have actually converged in a very big way in this. With this, the new definition that is coming up is quantum, because the amount of data being handled is so much that we are into a huge amount of queuing when it comes to M2M. And look at, vehicle to vehicle communication and all that happening on the roads. uh, it's a very different situation when we look at it. And to put all this together, therefore, I would like to say that quantum has become a necessity. It is a compulsion today. So all those who do not embrace quantum technologies will not be able to harness the power of automation and AI. And therefore, when we look at this new landscape, there was a analog to digital transformation. Now it's a digital to quantum transformation, which is facilitating automation to autonomy. And therefore, when we look at this new landscape, the driving factors are quantum technology, like it was digital technology earlier, and autonomy, like it was automation earlier. So these are the two new terms which are ringing in. And therefore, if we were to harness this, what has been the change in the workforce from analog to digital? If we look at digital to this new world, is firstly we have to accept the fact that machine to machine communication is going to be driven by human beings, and therefore the knowledge of it is very important. Data science will become very important, getting the right data. So the new skill sets are going to hinge around data science, big data analytics, and that is a big transition. Everybody must understand the power of data and big data and the importance of information and disinformation. So really speaking, the new terms, even in the military domain, are coming are information, which is the right information, misinformation, which is wrong information, driven by disinformation, which is planted information. So if 30 sensors told you there are 20 tanks, on ground there may be none, you will start believing that there is perhaps a combat team plus station somewhere. So really speaking, this is the new normal. When we look at the future workforce, it has to be more technology reliant. It has to be more technology compliant, and it has to understand the power of data and technology. So that is one big change. The second is that the workforce of the future has to have the skills of transforming automation into autonomy. Now, this transition is a huge transition, and this is a new normal. And therefore, when you look at this space, the new, if I may say, paradigms of technology are going to be 5G, 6G when you look at communication. When you look at the quantum technologies, quantum communication, quantum computing, all that is going to become a common word. So today, all those engineers who do not know quantum will be at a loss. Robo welding, use of robo welding, the nuances of robo welding, the nuances of 3D printing. So that is going to become very, very important. And therefore, on the physical front, the skill set is changing to a disrupted part of technology. On the organizational front, those who do not adopt a platform which can ingest data and take decisions are going to be at a loss. So therefore, organizationally, whether you're a armed forces, whether you're industry, you have to get prepared on platform approach. You need to have a platform which can ingest big data, which can analyze big data to give you meaningful or targeted business intelligence, targeted augmented intelligence for decision making, and artificial intelligence where prediction is involved. And recently, I was reading a very interesting paper wherein there's a study now where the EEG, which was a physical parameter when you and me go for EEG, they put a number of electrodes on us. Today, there are these sensors which can remotely sense your electronic signals coming out of your brain. And therefore, the new artificial intelligence is about reading not only your face recognition, it's not only body language recognition, it is also your brain signal recognition, which is the new normal. So really speaking, the technology is on a big roll, on a big gallop here. And we have to understand the nuances. So like you and me are talking, maybe there'll be a ticker which will tell me what is going on in the mind of General Matharu and General Ashok at this point in time, and I can maybe respond accordingly. So really speaking, is going to be beyond physicalities, is beyond face recognition, it's beyond body language, it is mind read. So really the future workforce is a very interesting space, and I think quite undefined to me. But with time, I think new and new. So really speaking, it's going to be fast learn, fast unlearn, fast relearn. It's going to be think big, act small, act fast, fail fast, recover faster. These are the new paradigms which they say are the DevOps paradigms of the future. And I think the future workforce will do well to get this into their attitude, to get this into their mindset, and to make this as the new tool set. So that is my take on this subject, sir. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Anil, for that very intriguing, mysterious look into the future, if I may say. And it's full of potential and it's full of challenges, as I can make out from what you have said. And I think you really painted a very vivid picture of what the future is going to be. General Ashok, the same question to you, please.
Sir, no, let me first start that General Kapoor has already covered the multiple aspects of question very, very well. In fact, majority of the aspects have come up quite well, both in terms of the need of we to be ready to adopt to these challenges and how we should go about it. And therefore, I shall cover only two facets, sir. First, about the artificial intelligence. Now, it is based, its quality, whatever, AI you use, it is based on the quality and quantum of the data it has been provided to, respond to a particular situation. Now, if you have a tank and you start using that, and even if the user gives the feedback that a particular thing is not functioning very well, or he or she is having a problem in that particular field, it may lead to some improvement, but that improvements are going to be marginal, incremental, and they are going to take a lot of time. As against that, the artificial intelligence, really speaking, it grows on the data. You have given it some quantum of data sets. It has performed in a particular way. Based on that, more data is going to get generated. You will have more options to feed it, and that cycle will keep improving with every passing day automatically. So AI grows on itself as against a physical equipment, which has got its own rate of growth, which is marginal. And therefore, the challenge actually, General Kapoor has also named some of the technologies, including AI, quantum computing, big data, and whole number of other things also. And therefore, how do we adapt to this? That is the biggest challenge actually for the user. Because these technologies, even if they are easy to use at the user end, they require a different kind of skill sets. And again, the problem comes, the generation of these skill sets take physical time. Once you have, expected, okay, that you want engineers, people working in different industry of having this kind of, technical know-how to function in today's time. By time, they come to that level, you will find the technology has already grown multiple leaps. So therefore, it is a huge challenge to develop the requisite skill sets and in the larger number of people for a country like India. Now, when the technologies, started developing, there was a sense that it is going to eat up the existing jobs. While it is true that the conventional jobs will shrink, but by themselves, they are going to open large quantum of jobs, much more than the conventional jobs, provided we have the requisite skill sets in that particular domain to function. And the technology's growth in a human being has got a special feature. Like today we have got the UPIs, for making our call or payment. There is now no need to go to the electricity office to make the payment of bills, and so many other things are finished. But has that reduced your workload? No, because it has given you now more power to concentrate in a high output, high value assignments. So the technology by itself, it frees you from relatively less important in today's time, if I may use that word, from those, but it puts you under much more strain and pressure in a high yielding jobs, in high yielding assignments, and high quality outputs. And at the national level, it will remain a challenge, not only in India but elsewhere also. How do we match up this skill set need? So therefore, as you know, sir, that the technologies, in niche technologies, there are multiple ones. Now, every technology has not matured to a level of operationalization. There are certain which are already in use. There are certain which are being used selectively. There are certain technologies which are in the demonstration use, and they are expected to come and see future time, maybe 5 years, 10 years. So in case we can crystal gaze this, the likely development of the disruptive technologies to whatever, sense possible, and then, prepare our skill set development plan, not only will be able to do well that in India, will be the world leader in this particular field. And those who can master technology, they can master the world. There cannot be a more bitter or better truth than this. The country or the people or the nation which leads the technology, that will be ruling the future, world. With that note, I will, close my comment on this particular question.
Thank you very much, General Ashok, for giving us those views on that in such a in a deep manner. And viewers, I would like to bring out to you that firstly, the links to both the profiles of our panelists are here in the show notes below. But I would like to also highlight that there are two books which have been written by General Ashok recently, which I have had the privilege of going through. They are excellent books. The first one is China Betrays Again, and the second one is Indian Churnings on the Global Stage. I recommend these strongly to you, and you may like to have a look at them. They are available on Amazon also. And with that, I would like to thank both General Kapoor and General Ashok for being with us today. And on behalf of the viewers, especially, I would like to thank you for sharing your thoughts, views, and I think there's a lot of seminal thoughts which have emerged today. It was quite fascinating for me listening to you both today. Thank you very much. And with that, I'll bring this particular panel discussion to close. Jai Hind.